Good morning, America. Severe storms slammed Texas. Former FBI Director James Comey indicted.
A state dinner for the king and a big win for the Spurs.
Breaking overnight.
Oh, a tornado right there on the road.
A possible tornado leaving a trail of destruction in Texas. Warehouses flattened, homes destroyed. This roof blown in the middle of the road. We're live on the scene. Plus, Ginger is tracking when the threat will be over.
The Trump Justice Department indicts James Comey again, accusing the former FBI director of making a threat against the president with this photo on Instagram a year ago.
This is not how the Department of Justice is supposed to be.
Comey defiant, legal experts question the charges. After years of the president seeking retribution, the fallout this morning.
Overnight, President Trump hosting King Charles for a state dinner.
We are determined to face the future together.
Hours after the King's historic speech before a joint meeting of Congress.
The actions of this great nation matter even more.
Calling for unity.
Speaking out, what the man seen in this video being beaten by NYPD detectives is saying this morning.
I was brutally beaten for no reason.
Was it a case of mistaken identity?
What happened to me should never happen to anyone else.
New details on the Special Forces soldier who made more than $400,000 betting on Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's ouster. Now what one of his attorneys is telling us.
Super surge, when will it stop? Gas prices now at the highest level in 4 years. This morning, ways you can save the next time you fill up, including the membership that can cut up to 30 cents a gallon. Who's next?
Oh, my goodness!
Wemby and the Spurs soaring to new heights, swatting the Trailblazers from the playoffs.
He is absolutely feeling it.
And Jalen Brunson electrifying the city of New York. Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Wednesday. Good morning, America.
And we hope you're doing well this Wednesday morning. Boy, the king is making quite a splash.
Yes.
We also have this new photo from William and Kate right there with their family. We're going to have the details on that coming up. James Longman is standing by.
But we're going to begin with another severe weather outbreak overnight. Tornadoes, huge hail in the south, storms touching down in Texas, leaving a trail of destruction west of Dallas. Ginger, back in the studio with us, standing by, tracking those threats. But first, Alex Stone starts us off in hard-hit Mineral Wells, Texas. Good morning to you, Alex.
Robin, good morning. The damage here is extensive. I was just talking to the police chief, and he says people rode out this tornado in bathtubs anywhere they could to stay alive. There are power crews that are coming in right now. They're putting up power poles, trying to get the electricity back on. And then this building across from me, this is devastated, destroyed. People were inside this building, and they were trying to stay alive during the tornado.
Oh, a tornado right there on the road.
Overnight severe storms slamming the south after days of relentless weather.
It just came all of a sudden. I mean, we heard those sirens going off, and then just boom, it was here.
A likely tornado touching down in Mineral Wells, Texas, just west of Dallas, injuring several people and causing widespread damage. These warehouses completely flattened, a roof blown clean off into the road.
Where'd I begin to fix it? Starting over. We had time to shut the door, and then it hit, and all of our windows were busting, and debris was just flying around in our living room.
Multiple homes severely damaged, windows blown out by the strong winds, sheet metal wrapped around trees.
At this time, we've only had reported 2 people that have been transported to the hospital and several injuries that were treated on the scene.
In nearby Weatherford, the storm flipping mobile homes onto their side while ripping the roofs off others.
There's my roof, there's my underpinning, there's my porch.
Missouri also pummeled by hail. Softball-sized chunks of ice smashing car windshields and sunroofs. Ice and glass falling into the back seat of this car.
Robin, today the National Weather Service is expected to be here trying to figure out how strong this tornado was, what the rating of it will end up being in the end. While the cleanup in this area is ongoing all around the region, it's underway right now. Robin?
All right, such devastation. Thank you so much, Alex. And Ginger, I don't have to tell you because you were out in the field yesterday.
Yep.
all these days of this outbreak.
That's the thing, is I could have stayed out for a week
Yeah.
and been busy and been able to travel around. The geography is more spread out, but now we still are not done. We have one last day with this system. So at this point, we've had about 1,000 severe storm reports in the last 6 days. That included that giant hail, baseball to softball size from Springfield, Missouri, back into Oklahoma. You can see all of the damage from just the last 24 hours. There were more than 160 severe storm reports, and that was the region. Now it's going to be south of there where we have to watch for the threat. So I want everyone from southeast Texas right through the Gulf Coast to be on alert. These storms will be strong. They could go over the level 2 severe, but we stopped it here Wednesday 4 p.m. There's not just the stuff that goes all the way over to Alabama, but look what's happening up here in Pennsylvania down to Washington, D.C. That low could come through with a little gusto, and so you are also in the level 1 out of 5 for severe storms. That includes Washington, D.C., Roanoke, and Charlotte. So just keep an eye on all of these areas. One thing I can promise you, you're going to get a lot of rain out of this. Some folks are looking forward to that, but it will come fast and heavy at times through parts of Louisiana and Mississippi back into Texas, so flash flooding could also be a threat. Boy, we wish we could get it to Florida and Georgia. I'll have that forecast coming up, George.
Okay, Ginger, we're going to move on now to the indictment of former FBI Director James Comey, a move President Trump has been demanding for years. The first Trump administration indictment of Comey was dismissed by a judge. This one stems from a year-old Instagram post that the Justice Department now claims was a threat to kill the president. Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas has the story. Good morning, Pierre.
George, good morning. The feud between the president and former FBI director only appears to be intensifying, with James Comey now facing another legal fight on a new front.
This morning, for the second time in 7 months, former FBI Director James Comey is facing Justice Department charges. A federal grand jury in North Carolina indicting Comey with 2 felony counts, alleging that Comey did knowingly and willfully make a threat to take the life of and to inflict bodily harm upon the President of the United States. The indictment centers around this since-deleted Instagram post from Comey, showing the numbers 8647 written in seashells on the beach, with the caption, "Cool shell formation on my beach walk." Trump supporters condemning that post, claiming it was a call to 86 or kill the 47th president. But Comey immediately deleted that post in May of last year, writing at the time, quote, "I didn't realize some folks associate those numbers with violence. It never occurred to me, but I oppose violence of any kind, so I took the post down." This morning, Comey defiantly saying he's ready to fight again.
Well, they're back. This time about a picture of seashells on a North Carolina beach a year ago. And this won't be the end of it. But nothing has changed with me. I'm still innocent. I'm still not afraid. And I still believe in the independent federal judiciary. So let's go.
It's a case some legal experts say is a long shot at best.
Of all the cases that have been brought and threatened against President Trump's enemies, this one may be the weakest. This is going to be a ridiculously hard case for prosecutors to win. He has to have intended it to have been a threat for this to be a successful prosecution.
Tuesday, we pressed the acting AG about the strength of the case. He insisted the evidence will be presented later.
You are not allowed to threaten the President of the United States of America. That's not my decision. That's Congress's decision and a statute that they passed that we charge multiple times a year.
Comey quickly became a target of the president after Trump blamed him for the investigation into Russian interference during the 2016 election. The two men have sparred for years. Since the start of his second term, President Trump has repeatedly pushed his Justice Department to go after his enemies. And in a September social media post, publicly calling on his Attorney General to take action against his political enemies. Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James among them.
We have to act fast. If they're not guilty, that's fine. If they are guilty or if they should be charged, they should be charged.
And last fall, Comey was indicted on 2 felony counts, one charge of making a false statement to Congress and another for obstruction of justice of an investigating proceeding before Congress. Letitia James was also indicted within days of Comey last September, but both their cases were eventually thrown out. Apparently frustrated by the lack of prosecutions, President Trump fired Attorney General Pam Bondi earlier this month, announcing Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, who was also his former criminal defense attorney, would take over DOJ in an acting capacity.
Comey is expected to self-surrender today at a federal court in Alexandria, Virginia, but he will soon have to make his way down to North Carolina to appear in court as the Justice Department continues to investigate him, George.
And Pierre, the Trump administration also took action against James Comey's daughter. She's fighting back, and she won a round in court.
Well, she's suing, claiming wrongful termination, and a judge is saying her case will be allowed to continue, George.
Okay, Pierre, thanks very much. Let's bring in our chief Washington correspondent, John Carl. And John, I want to get to the specific charges here in just a second, but first, it's impossible to separate this from President Trump's attempts really to use the power of the government to go against people he doesn't like.
George, there is no doubt that this indictment was driven by the president himself. Look, Donald Trump has made it clear for years that he wants to indict Jim Comey. As recently as 3 days ago, he suggested that Comey needed to be prosecuted, although he offered an entirely different reason. And Trump has put enormous pressure on the people who work for him to go after not just Comey, but a long list of his perceived political enemies. One of the main reasons that he fired Attorney General Pam Bondi is that he felt that she was not being aggressive enough in prosecuting those enemies. And Attorney General Todd Blanche knows that if he wants to be formally nominated as AG, right now he's just the acting Attorney General, he needs to prove to President Trump that he will be more aggressive in prosecuting those enemies than Bondi was. And I can tell you this, George, shortly after that indictment was announced, Todd Blanche was at the White House meeting with senior White House officials.
And John, on this specific charge, the first indictment of James Comey was dismissed. Lawyers who are even lawyers close to the president say that's likely here as well.
Oh, yeah. Look, I've been talking to current and former prosecutors, federal prosecutors, who are calling this the flimsiest federal indictment that they have ever seen. Even Trump's allies are privately calling it embarrassing, or as one very prominent former Trump DOJ official told me last night, depressing. I have spoken to no serious lawyers who think these charges will result in a conviction. The near universal view is that it will be thrown out before it gets to trial. And by the way, the Secret Service actually investigated this almost a year ago. They set it aside after questioning Comey the day after he posted that picture of the seashells, apparently seeing back then no threat that warranted federal prosecution. The investigation was only revived as Pam Bondi was struggling to keep her job, and now as Todd Blanche is hoping to be nominated to officially replace her.
Right. If this was such a threat, why did they wait a year? John Carl, thanks very much. Robin?
And George, now to the royal state visit. President Trump hosted King Charles at a state dinner overnight, hours after the King's historic speech to a joint meeting of Congress. Chief International Correspondent James Longman is there at the White House with more. Good morning, James.
Yeah, good morning, Robin. The King is here to repair the UK-US alliance, but I think a lot of people have been surprised at his sense of humour and that in his own British understated way, he's been able to make a number of pointed comments about American leadership in the world and the rule of law.
Overnight, the President and the First Lady hosting a glamorous state dinner at the White House for King Charles and Queen Camilla. 120 guests were there, including multiple Supreme Court justices, tech CEOs Tim Cook and Jeff Bezos, golfer Rory McIlroy, and Patriots owner Bob Kraft.
History has known no more powerful force than the combination of American patriotism and British pride.
We are determined to face the future together.
President Trump started off with a joke after saying the King's speech to Congress earlier in the day made him jealous.
He got the Democrats to stand. I've never been able to do that. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. They liked him more than they've ever liked any Republican or Democrat, actually.
And Charles made plenty of jokes of his own.
Indeed, you recently commented, Mr. President, that if it were not for the United States, European countries would be speaking German. Dare I say that if it wasn't for us, you'd be speaking French.
The King toasted his host and host nation.
Whether your cup contains tea, wine, Scotch whiskey, bourbon, or even cola, let us raise our glasses and voices as we toast the past, the present, and the future.
Mr. Speaker, Their Majesties King Charles III and Queen Camilla.
Earlier, the King appeared before Congress calling for unity.
I pray with all my heart that our alliance will continue to defend our shared values with our partners in Europe and the Commonwealth and across the world. And that we ignore the clarion calls to become ever more inward-looking.
Charles was given several standing ovations during a speech to mark the 250th anniversary of American independence. He's the first king ever to address the House and didn't shy away from sensitive topics, calling for support in the war in Ukraine and praising the NATO alliance. He spoke about faith, the environment, and the importance of the rule of law.
The principle that executive power is subject to checks and balances.
And his final message to lawmakers in a deeply divided time that words matter, but that the actions of the US matter even more.
America's words carry weight and meaning, as they have since independence. The actions of this great nation matter even more.
Also overnight, in a post that's sure to raise some eyebrows, the White House posting a photo of King Charles and Trump together with the caption, "Two Kings."
So today, the King and Queen head to New York. They'll go to the 9/11 Memorial and to a Harlem community organization. I think it's fair to say security in Manhattan becomes a little more complex than it's been here in D.C., but the Brits are very happy with how this is going so far. Guys.
They should be. We should have some traffic jams in New York as well today. Yeah. Sam is here. Next Artemis mission coming up.
George, I think America's ready for more space. All right, good morning, everybody. NASA not sleeping after the big success of the Artemis 2 mission, getting ready for what's called appropriately next Artemis 3, the largest section of the 212-foot rocket that will send astronauts into space, called the core stage, arriving at Kennedy Space Center. Built in New Orleans, it's the backbone that holds the liquids and gases to feed the 4 RS-25 engines. It took a 900-mile barge ride, if you will, to Florida for its final assembly. The next mission will test docking, which is important, and it's scheduled for late next year. Then, Artemis 4. In 2028, puts people on the moon for the first time since 1972. Earlier this month, the Artemis 2 crew made a historic 10-day mission that sent the 4 astronauts around the moon. And you remember, farther into space than any human has ever been. Make sure you tune in to GMA tomorrow when the Artemis 2 astronauts will be here to talk live about their incredible journey. I think we've got some fun.
Yeah, we do. Oh, you got that little twinkle in your eye.
Yeah, so exciting.
Yeah, it is very exciting. Thank you, Sam. Also exciting, the NBA playoffs. Another team is moving on, and the Knicks one step closer to advancing. Okay, Lara.
All right, I sure will, Robin. A very exciting night for New York fans. We will get to that in a moment, but first, we begin with one of the most exciting teams in the NBA, the San Antonio Spurs, led by young superstar Victor Wembanyama. The Spurs showing they are true contenders this year, knocking out the Portland Trail Blazers in Game 5. Wemby had 17 points, 14 rebounds, 6 blocks. He helped clinch the Spurs' first playoff series win since 2017. They now play the winner of the Minnesota-Denver series, and many of us stayed up to watch the Knicks host the Atlanta Hawks. Boy, it paid off. Jalen Brunson came alive with 39 points. The Knicks cruising to a commanding win, 126-97. They are now 1 win away from advancing. Game 6 in Atlanta Thursday night. Meanwhile, the Philadelphia 76ers beat the Boston Celtics to stay alive and force a Game 6 in Philly. Joel Embiid had a great night, scoring 33 points. That series now stands at 3-2 with Boston ahead. The Sixers will try to push this series to the limit tomorrow night, and it's a playoff doubleheader tonight on ESPN starting at 7:30 Eastern. Hits keep on coming.
I know the Celebrity Row was out in force in the Garden last night.
In force. Only one missing, Michael Strahan.
He had an excuse after.
He sure did.
He is traveling to Buffalo.
Yes, he is. For us. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, well, thank you so much.
Coming up, gas prices jumped again overnight. Gio is standing by with ways to save.
Plus time to spring clean your finances, how to streamline your subscriptions.
And some big news about Janet Jackson. We will be right back. Stay with us.
Get it, Fonzie. Back here on GMA. Big news this morning about Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation 1814 album. It's an exclusive from the Grammy Hall of Fame. Coming up in Pop News.
Looking forward to that. First new at 7:30. After last month's deadly collision between a plane and fire truck at New York's LaGuardia Airport, the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey will put tracking devices on vehicles at its 3 major airports. Tracking devices have been recommended by the FAA and were highlighted by the NTSB in its preliminary report on the crash. Elon Musk took the stand in a federal court, the first witness to testify in his case against OpenAI and CEO Sam Altman, the creator of ChatGPT. Musk co-founded OpenAI with Altman in 2015, but left in 2018. He now claims Altman stole a charity by becoming a for-profit company. OpenAI has repeatedly characterized the lawsuit as baseless, calling it a harassment campaign. Musk touted his role in OpenAI's success to the largely blue-collar jury.
And there could be even more March Madness. Okay, because ESPN reports the NCAA has started the final steps to expand the men's and women's basketball tournament to 76 teams. Whoa. It's expected to be finalized in the coming weeks, and the change would start with next year's tournaments.
Big brackets.
That was big.
We're going to turn now to the Special Forces soldier accused of using classified information to bet on Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's ouster. He pleaded not guilty, and we're hearing from one of his lawyers this morning. Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katersky is tracking the case. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, George. At Fort Bragg, Gannon Ken Van Dyke rose to the rank of Master Sergeant. Federal prosecutors said he used his knowledge of a top-secret mission to win big on a prediction market. His lawyers tell us it's no crime.
This morning, this Army Special Operations soldier is free on bond after pleading not guilty to charges he bet on Polymarket that Nicolas Maduro would be ousted from Venezuela without revealing he took part in the secret mission. The indictment said Gannon Ken Van Dyke was involved in the planning and execution of the raid and possessed material non-public information about that operation at the time of each and every trade he placed in Maduro and Venezuela-related markets. Federal prosecutors said he placed 13 bets totaling $34,000, the last just hours before U.S. Special Forces apprehended Maduro, cashing out more than $400,000. Van Dyke stood motionless before a federal judge and pleaded not guilty.
It's shocking to me that this indictment was brought. I don't think that there's a legal basis for it. I think there's controlling authority that says that this is not a crime.
His attorney, speaking to ABC News overnight, said Van Dyke belongs on the battlefield, not in a courtroom.
The most important thing people should know about is that my client is an American hero, has been, was, and is. And this is a horrible, horrible injustice.
The commander-in-chief appeared to downplay the case since the soldier allegedly bet on the mission's success.
That's like Pete Rose betting on his own team. It's a little like Pete Rose. Pete Rose, they kept him out of the Hall of Fame because he bet on his own team. Now, if he bet against his team, that would be no good, but he bet on his own team.
But the White House last month warned staff to avoid trading on inside information after a surge in suspiciously timed bets on prediction markets, including one on Polymarket that made more than $500,000 wagering on the death of the Ayatollah. And sources told ABC News federal prosecutors are now investigating other cases of well-timed bets on Polymarket and Kalshi.
The soldier is free on a $250,000 bond due back in court in June. Federal prosecutors said he transferred most of his gains into cryptocurrency and then asked Polymarket to delete his account.
Yeah, that didn't help. All right.
It did not.
Okay, Aaron, thank you so much. We're going to turn now to a graphic arrest video of two police officers beating a man. Authorities say it was a case of mistaken identity. Rhiannon Alley is here with the story, and the victim is preparing to sue the city for what, $100 million?
Yes, $100 million. Timothy Brown says he felt humiliated, disrespected, and embarrassed when NYPD officers arrested him, thinking he'd been involved in a drug deal. The violent arrest was caught on camera, and Brown says he'll never be the same.
This morning, Timothy Brown, the man seen in this video being beaten by two NYPD detectives in a Brooklyn liquor store in a case of mistaken identity, is speaking out.
I was brutally beaten for no reason. I will never heal from this.
Brown says he received 36 stitches after he was punched, kicked, and dragged through broken glass.
They said, "You're under arrest." And I said, "Why? I haven't done anything." And before I knew it, they grabbed me and started punching me.
Brown filing a notice of claim, a precursor to a lawsuit, alleging the officers violated his civil rights. He intends to ask for $100 million in damages. The NYPD previously said the detectives were conducting an undercover narcotics operation on April 14th and believed Brown had been involved in a drug deal. The detectives Vulcan Maiden and Michael Algerio have both been stripped of their guns and badges pending an investigation. And the NYPD previously said it has launched a 3-month review of its narcotics division.
We want to see these bad apples removed from the force.
Charges of resisting arrest were later dropped against Brown.
What happened to me should never happen to anyone else. It was wrong, and it was disgusting. And my life will never be the same.
Officers were not wearing body cams, and the unit responsible for the incident has been disbanded, but the NYPD has not commented on this potential lawsuit. But you see the video. I mean, he's dragged through broken glass.
And good thing they had the video, because not having the body cams, we would not have known.
Yeah.
All right, Rhiannon, thank you.
Hi, I'm Wesley from Atlanta, Georgia. With gas prices continuing to rise, what are some ways for the American people to actually start saving some money?
We are so glad, Wesley, that you asked that, because that is the question. Gas prices hitting their highest level in 4 years amid the war with Iran. This morning, the average price of gas is $4.23 a gallon. That is up $1.29 since the war began, 44% increase. But there are ways you can ease that pain at the pump. Sam and Gio are tracking the ways to save. First, let's go to Gio. Details on some loyalty programs. Good morning, Gio.
Hey, Robin, I'm so glad we're doing this because a lot of these loyalty programs are free to join. So I want you to join them, especially if you can stick to one particular brand. That's going to save you some money. So let's look at these loyalty programs that we have here. These are just some of them. Shell, new members save 30 cents a gallon on the third fill. The more you fill, the more you save, because once you reach platinum status, you're saving up to 10 cents a gallon on every fill. Over at BP Amoco, you're saving 5 cents a gallon on every fill. Exxon, you're earning 3 cents on regular, 6 cents on premium to use for future savings. You can also save with other memberships that you might already have, like Walmart Plus. You can save 10 cents a gallon at over 13,000 stations. That includes Exxon, Mobil, Walmart, and Murphy stations. With Amazon Prime, you can save 10 cents a gallon over at BP, Amoco, and other stations. And until the end of May, 20 cents a gallon on Fridays if you link your Amazon account to Earnify. So that's another app there. How you pay, that can also make a big difference. Check your credit card, because you may have some instant savings there or get extra points. Those can be converted into real money. So some notable cards that we found here. The PenFed Platinum Rewards Visa Signature, that gives you 5 times points for gas with no annual fee. That's really important. There's also the PNC Cash Rewards Visa credit card. You get 4% cash back at gas stations. Also, no annual fee. Make sure you look at that. But I really want you to check the credit cards that you already have, because you may have offers there that you don't even know about, guys.
Yeah, you got to take a look at those cards, because all of this really adds up, Gio. Thank you very much. Got even more ways to save?
So we went hunting, Robin, and Gio found some good ideas. Here's a couple more. Warehouse clubs, Costco, Sam's Club, and BJ's have their own gas stations. I know you know that now. At some locations, and they typically charge less per gallon than you would at a normal pump, right? Of course, you need to be a store member to buy gas there. But you can also save even more money if, instead of getting another credit card, you use that Costco or Sam's Club credit card. Supermarket chains are getting in it. They have programs. Some of them do. At Kroger's, you can earn points. It's like a credit card point on groceries, and then get money off per gallon of gas. So it's very similar to your credit card points. 1 fuel point for every dollar spent. 100 fuel points equals 10 cents off per gallon. Safeway has some at 1 point. For every dollar spent, again, 100 points equals 10 cents off per gallon. At Stop and Shop, you can also earn Go Points. Go Points on qualifying purchases will get you savings there. That's 10 cents off per gallon for every 100 points. So it all seems to be the same. That 10 cents equals 100 points there. There are several apps. Gio mentioned one called Earnify. I didn't know about this before. The upside in Earnify, they give you cash back on gas purchases. There are also sites to search.
Oh,
Gas Buddy, right?
Yeah.
And AAA will help you find the cheapest gas in your area. It all comes down to this. There's no, you can't expect savings unless you go
You
get
got to look
it.
for it.
So go look for it.
Yeah, Gas Buddy's a good one.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Sam and Gio.
It is Play of the Daytime, Royal Play of the Day.
Yes, and congratulations are in order this morning for William and Kate, the Royals, celebrating their 15th wedding anniversary today. The Prince and Princess of Wales sharing this photo of the family, the future King and Queen, alongside Prince George, Princess Charlotte, Prince Louis, their dog Orla, and one of their puppies. That picture released by the royal family to mark the occasion. The couple writing, celebrating 15 years of marriage with a heart emoji. Their wedding in 2011 captured, of course, the attention of the world. 1,900 guests at Westminster Abbey, 1 million fans lining the streets, about 1 billion tuning in from all around the world. And in case you're wondering, 15 is the crystal anniversary, just in case you want to send something.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
As one does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember we were there for the coverage of it. I can't believe that was 15 years ago.
years, yeah.
Oh, yes, the wave,
Yeah.
the wave, the wave.
15 years. Happy anniversary to the royal couple.
That's it. Well, we're talking about royalties, so how about Bridgerton star?
Sure.
And now one of the new stars of the Devil Wears Prada 2, Simone Ashley, is here to tell us about working with the star-studded cast. And Ginger, we hear you have something beautiful you're going to share with us.
I do. After all these severe storms, it's one of my favorite sights that really tells you it's the calm after the storm. You'll want to see it. Stick around.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. A tornado leaves a trail of destruction in Texas.
Oh, a tornado right there on the road.
Warehouses flattened, homes destroyed. Ginger tracking it all.
Fighting for her rights while in labor.
I'm trying to understand how you are taking my rights away as a patient.
Why a mom was forced to attend a virtual court hearing from her hospital bed.
I was so afraid.
Making her argument to a judge between contractions. Jurassic Park star Sam Neill's health update after his cancer diagnosis.
It's an extraordinary thing.
What he's saying about his treatment.
From Bridgerton to the big screen, Simone Ashley is one of the new stars with some of the best lines. In The Devil Wears Prada, too.
Charlie, what should we say about laughing? Stella! Hi.
And she's saying,
Good morning, America.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Wednesday. Good morning, America.
Good morning to all of you. We are counting down to Mother's Day this morning. Tori Johnson is bringing deals and steals to make great gifts, all from small businesses.
And Michael is on his way to Spain, where he'll go to the Sagrada Familia. He'll be sharing stunning views from the very top of that famous basilica as it has never been seen before. And you will see it tomorrow.
Right now, a look at the top stories breaking today. We start with another severe weather outbreak overnight. Tornadoes left a trail of destruction. Ginger tracking it all. And Ginger, you said it earlier, we're not done.
No, we have one more day today. The threat is a little less, but I'll get into that. Let's talk about what happened. Mineral Wells, Texas, the warehouses, the homes destroyed. At least 2 people went to the hospital with injuries. Others were treated on the scene. But that was in Texas, right? North Texas, where they've had a rough 6 days. In Springfield, Missouri, it was baseball to softball size hail crashing through windshields, doing damage to homes. And we do have more where that came from. You know, over the last 6 days, we've had about 1,000 severe storm reports. I think we'll add a few more today, and I think it'll probably come along the Gulf Coast this afternoon, right through central Louisiana, over to Meridian, Mississippi, I'd say, kind of creeping into Alabama. We stopped the clock at 4 p.m. Pittsburgh to Washington, D.C. also find themselves in that area for strong to severe storms. So it's a level 1 out of 5 today. It will bring a lot of rain for the Gulf Coast, too, Robin.
All right there, Ginger. We're going to turn now to the war with Iran and the economic impact here at home, with gas prices hitting their highest level in 4 years. Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce has the latest for us. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Robin. And as this war drags on and that standoff over the Strait of Hormuz continues, gas prices are now at their highest level, as you said, in 4 years. The average price of a gallon of gas now $4.23. That's up $1.29 since the war began, a 44% increase. Oil prices are still climbing, and it's driving up everything from shipping prices to the cost of groceries. Now, the president has said Americans should anticipate higher prices for, quote, a little while. But we are now in week 9 of this conflict. Peace talks remain stalled, and President Trump has said he's not under any pressure to make a deal. And guys, this morning, the president is back to making sweeping threats on social media, posting a meme of him holding a machine gun with explosions and smoke billowing behind him, saying Iran, quote, better get smart soon, with the caption, quote, no more Mr. Nice Guy.
All right, Mary, our thanks to you for your reporting. Now we have a GMA health alert. Just released research from the CDC finds that nearly a third of American adults aren't getting enough sleep, with many turning to drugs for help. Our chief medical correspondent, Dr. Tara Narula, is here to break it down. You have a captive audience.
I'm sure I do, yes. So this was a CDC report that looked at survey data from 2024, and they in fact found what you just said, which is that about 30% are getting under the recommended 7 hours of sleep. About 15 to 18% report having trouble falling asleep or staying asleep, and they also found that only 55% of us wake up feeling refreshed and ready for the day. And who do you think wakes up more often refreshed, men or women? Well,
women.
Women, no, men.
Oh.
So women
I
are the
told you
ones that tend to report more trouble falling asleep, more trouble staying asleep, and less refreshed when they wake up. So not surprising with all of this that Americans are reaching for sleep aids. In fact, about 13% are trying to use some sort of sleep aid to help them sleep. When they looked at the breakdown, about 5 to 6% use either over-the-counter or prescription or supplement medications, and about 4%, I was very surprised to read this, use cannabis or marijuana to help them sleep. When they looked at the percentages of Americans, not surprisingly, older Americans, those over 65, about 16% of those are using sleep aids, and more women than men.
Which ones do you recommend?
So, obviously, George, we talk about a good bedtime routine. So hopefully trying not to use any sort of substance. So calm, quiet, wind down routine, cool, dark room, putting away devices, exercising during the day, avoiding large meals or alcohol or caffeine before bed. That's certainly part of the process. But then in terms of what you can take, so a lot of people reach for melatonin. Melatonin seems to be relatively safe, at least in the short term. We don't have really long-term good study data on that. It's more helpful for helping you fall asleep. So for people who may be having jet lag or shift workers, it might be helpful, but not so much for insomnia or staying asleep. And it can come with side effects too, nausea, headache, and dizziness.
Really?
Yes, it can. Some people reach for sedating antihistamines, so Benadryl, for example, those kinds of medications may be useful for a few days only. Again, those can come with some side effects too. And then this is a big one, is CBD or marijuana. And a lot of people feel that this is safe. I have a lot of patients who use them, but in fact, if you're older, it can break down slower and affect cognition, affect how you feel, affect and interact with other medications, in particular blood thinners, and importantly, as we talked about the other day, there have been research reports that show it causes vascular inflammation and is linked to heart attack and stroke risk, even the gummies and edibles. Supplements, which a lot of people reach for, not FDA approved or regulated, so those can come with a whole host of issues. It is difficult. I think a sleep doctor can be helpful, and sleep medicine specialty referral. I do send my patients for that often, and they can look into exactly what might be going on that's causing you to have issues. And sometimes it's things like even sleep apnea, which is important to diagnose, or if you're having chronic pain or hormone issues, hot flashes. So really looking for the underlying cause and treating that can sometimes be helpful as well.
Start with the routine.
Start with routine. That's always the best. A warm glass of milk works for my daughter and a lot of other people too. And a little warmie, you can heat them up in the microwave and put them on you.
A few years ago, I started making sleep a priority because I was one of those, I don't need much sleep. And I was just like a walking zombie.
I know.
And so I made it a commitment, got a blackout shade, doing some of the things, the warmth and things like that. It's made a world of difference.
We did the same thing.
A world of difference.
It's so important. I mean, our audio team just told me they get like 3 to 4 hours a night. Not ideal, not good.
No.
Really prioritize it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Coming up in our GMA Morning Menu, Deborah Roberts here with a story about a woman forced to do a virtual court hearing from her hospital bed while in labor. Why she had to make her case to follow her birth plan.
Plus, Jurassic Park star Sam Neill is revealing new updates in his cancer fight.
Also at Protein Magazine, cottage cheese hacks are all over social media, but how much is too much? We had the scoop on that trend. And Lara, you got a star there.
I do. Simone Ashley is with us. We're so happy she's here. She plays Miranda's fierce, fabulous assistant in The Devil Wears Prada 2.
Oh, you're the person who thinks being on time is, such good lines, such good lines. And there are some Bridgerton fans who want to know if we're coming back for season. Don't answer, because we've got time in there to do it. Maybe let's sign the board and we'll be right back.
Absolutely, right here.
Yeah, I love that.
Beautiful Wednesday morning here in the NYC, but we're back now at our GMA cover story. One woman's fight for her rights from her hospital bed while in labor. Deborah Roberts is here with this story that's really caught our attention.
It definitely has. It's pretty provocative, Robin. When it comes to delivering a baby, pregnant moms typically have some specific ideas, whether it's a hospital birth or a vaginal birth or C-section, and doctors usually acknowledge that a patient has the right to judgment. But imagine having that decision questioned by a judge via Zoom while you're in labor. That's what happened to a Florida woman who says the state violated her rights during her most vulnerable time.
She was in her 12th hour of labor in the hospital when Sharice Doyley suddenly found herself in front of a Florida judge from her hospital bed.
It's a real judge.
A nurse wheeling in a tablet with the judge, doctors, lawyers, and others on Zoom.
That was exactly when I found out that we were going to court. I was so afraid. I was confused. I did not know what was going on or what to expect.
It was a Sunday afternoon in 2024. The state of Florida, at the behest of the University of Florida Health Hospital in Jacksonville, was asking for an emergency hearing because Sharice, who'd had 3 previous C-sections, was refusing another.
They're asking for an emergency C-section be granted by the court.
Doctors testifying the risks of delivering a baby by labor alone after her 3 C-sections could be deadly, including a higher chance of uterine rupture. They recommended a C-section this time before it became an emergency, saying the baby's heart already showed some signs of distress. But Sharice, already a mom of 3, arguing she would accept the risk of uterine rupture as opposed to risks like infection from a cesarean, and didn't want to undergo another one unless it was an emergency.
It was a very hard recovery for me every single time, and it was something that I just didn't want to go through again.
An experienced doula, a birth support person, she said she understood the risks and wanted to continue to labor. But the state arguing the life of the baby should be paramount.
The state's compelling interest is the preservation of the life of the unborn child that may be harmed based on the mother's refusal to have this C-section.
In between contractions, Sharice saying it violated her rights to make medical decisions for her own body, and repeatedly asking about a lawyer or a patient advocate over the 3-hour hearing.
I have not had a chance to be able to consult with my own legal representation, and I'm trying to understand how you are taking my rights away as a patient.
The judge saying there was not a constitutional right to counsel due to the nature of the hearing, leaving Sharice to make the case on her own. She even asked another doula to help advocate for her at one point.
We don't often see courts intervene in the case of medical care for individuals. We are seeing this happen more because as fetal rights are expanded, there can be a contradiction between the hospital trying to protect itself from liability, the mother and what she chooses as her birth plan, and what they see as the proper and best choice for the fetus.
The story coming to light through a ProPublica investigation which found that Doily was not alone. In fact, at least one other case, also with a woman of color, had happened a year earlier at another Florida hospital.
In other medical situations, people have the ability to determine their own care, even if it's risky. And so what makes it different here is that these women are pregnant.
Ultimately, the judge ruling that Sharice could continue to labor, but the hospital could proceed with a C-section only if the situation became an emergency.
I am granting the petition for finding that the state's compelling state interest is met, not requiring anything except for an emergency basis, which you've already consented to.
At 2 a.m., with the baby's heart rate dropping for at least 7 minutes, a sign that the baby's life was in danger, Sharice was given a C-section. Today, daughter Arewa, healthy and now 1, is at home with her siblings. But her mother can't forget how her birth unfolded.
This was the most dehumanizing, scary experience, traumatic experience I've ever been in my life.
Doily says she had experienced serious complications before after C-sections, and she remains traumatized by this birth experience. There are concerns, though, about the health and the care that Black women in our country are receiving because they're 3 times as likely as white women to die during or after childbirth. Now, we should say that in a statement to ABC News, the state attorney's office saying its office does not make medical decisions. We ensured the court was presented with the facts so a judge could make his determination under the law. And going on to say the 4th Judicial Circuit's position is that the substance of the hearing speaks for itself. The hospital declined to talk to us about this due to HIPAA law restrictions. But I should tell you that nearly 30 states have these fetal personhood laws, which is basically they allow a state to sort of, take the patient's rights are kind of trumped by the fetus's rights. And that requires a lot of conversation. Doctors are saying that maybe there's a different way to handle this, a better way to converse about it.
It was the manner in which it was done, in part.
That's I think, what she feels, too. But there's a lot of conversations that need to be had, and compassion.
Always. Thank you, Deb. Thank you, Deb.
Live news time.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, good morning, everybody. We begin with some very positive news from Jurassic Park star Sam Neill. After battling stage 3 blood cancer since 2022, a diagnosis he learned he had during the press tour for Jurassic World Dominion. This morning he tells the Australian news network News 7 he's officially cancer-free. Take a look.
I was on chemotherapy and a pretty miserable business, but it was keeping me alive. I was at a loss, and it looked like I was on the way out, which wasn't ideal, obviously. I've just had a scan just now, and there is no cancer in my body. This is an extraordinary thing.
Extraordinary indeed. Neil says he underwent a trial treatment called CAR T cell therapy, where a person's genetically modified blood cells are injected back into them to attack the cancer cells. It's a treatment that's approved for some types of lymphoma and myeloma, and Neil is advocating for wider use of the cancer-fighting trial. Guys, this treatment is still in trial stages, but CAR T cell therapy has shown a 50% complete response rate in trials. Sam says he feels great. He's now ready to get back to work making movies. Just wanted to share this news, and we're going to follow this story because this could be groundbreaking for so many people.
So much groundbreaking. Yep. And when it comes to medical breakthroughs like that, and he's living proof of that.
He sure is. Great to see him. Hey, in music news, we have a Grammy Hall of Fame exclusive update from our friends at the Recording Academy. The countdown is on to their annual Hall of Fame gala celebrating their class of 2026 inductees, including Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation 1814 album and the leader of the 70s band Funkadelic, George Clinton. Ooh. Sam, are you okay? I thought you were having... I thought everything, just checking. Okay, today we can announce that Janet Jackson herself will be making a special appearance at the gala next week and joining the godfather of funk, George Clinton, on stage for a performance none other than Grammy-winning R&B singer, songwriter, producer Erykah Badu. Wow. Two have performed together before. In fact, Badu thanked Clinton in her 1998 Grammy-winning speech for being such an influence on her. No word yet on what they'll perform when they take the stage alongside the class of 2026 inductees and performers during the Grammy Hall of Fame Gala. That happens May 8th. And then, guys, the Grammys air right here on ABC in 2027.
Yeah, they do.
We are so happy to welcome you to ABC.
We got the Grammys. We got the Super Bowl in 2027. We got the Oscars in 2027.
Yes, we do. And we got Chonkers.
Oh.
All right, are you ready for Chonkers? San Francisco Bay, Pier 39, one sea lion like no other. Meet Chonkers, everybody. 2,000 pounds of glorious goodness. He is what's called a stellar sea lion. They're usually seen in colder waters off of Washington State or Alaska. No surprise, Chonkers has become a sensation. The Wall Street Journal says he was first spotted 6 weeks ago on Pier 39. The harbor master tells us they're used to seeing him every few years. He doesn't usually stay this long. Look at him there. They think it's because there's a lot of anchovies in the bay right now, maybe pizza too. If you're interested in seeing Chonkers, get there early. We hear he's a morning guy. And that is Pop News with our new mascot.
Chonkers.
Oh, come on.
Don't you think?
Hey, we love Ray.
Yeah, we do.
Mascot Ray.
The Chonkers close second. Okay, gotta go.
All right, let's go. And I'm gonna.
Can you please?
Yes, I'm gonna
show
go.
us
Let's
those
go right
moves
now.
that you were just doing
since
while
you
I
didn't
was.
appreciate my Rhythm Nation. Let's get to Tori. Deals and steals with Tori
Ready?
Johnson.
Okay, let's do
Tori,
it.
it's Mother's Day
less
coming
than
up.
2 weeks away, but
All
you
right.
know what? No matter who the woman in your life is, or treat yourself. We're starting with Leo and Luca.
Okay.
Look at all of this gorgeous bling.
These are beautiful.
These pieces are so fabulous. They put a modern, fresh
That
spin.
is fantastic.
Isn't it? I
All
know
of
I'm
that.
wearing one of these right
You
here.
are- yeah,
I love
it.
All of the pieces are beautiful. They are 18 karat gold plated, giving them all of this beautiful shine. We've got earrings, necklaces, initials, a huge assortment, and every option is $20 to $40
That's
with our
great.
deal.
Layer those, layer those, layer.
Exactly. Okay. Country Home Creations, they make it really easy to make hosting a breeze with all of their dip mixes, but rather than like the traditional powder fillers, they use real freeze-dried fruits and vegetables to be able to make these mixes. So super easy to make. Artichoke and spinach dip. We've got the Farmhouse Ranch, white cheddar jalapeno, all the big popular ones. You make it, pop it in the fridge overnight, and then your hosting's fabulous. And then when you need a little late night sweet, we've got their cheesecake mix as well. All of these half price, $4 to $5.50.
I took a little slice out of the
You
middle.
did?
I hope you don't mind.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, this is Mara Beauty. This is backed by marine biotechnology, and at the root of the formula of all of these is algae. And the reason that it's so hot as a skincare ingredient, but it's all about teaching cells to behave younger for longer. So this is a skincare line that's about longevity. Their global bestseller is their enzyme cleansing gel. It's a really great, it's a very gentle exfoliator, cleanser.
That may be the most beautiful bottle
ever. The packaging is gorgeous, product's even better. This retinol overnight face oil is also phenomenal. Everything from Mara Beauty, Slash and Half starts at $13.
Wow,
okay.
Great Mom's Day gift.
Go Pure. All right, instant eye lift, baby. Instant eye lift.
I'm down.
Okay, this little tiny purple thing right here, you use like a pinhead size under your eye. You swipe
I'm just holding it up.
Yeah, you let it, this is for the under eye area.
Oh, I'm holding it down.
You let it dry. So if you've got puffiness, dark circles, anything under your eye, it is not permanent. This is temporary, like makeup, but it's going to make that area so smooth and beautiful for the day. This is a fabulous one. We also have their best sellers, their jars that they've sold millions of. Their butt and thigh tightening one here. We've got the arm tightening one here.
I could use that.
That is why these are big best sellers.
Yeah.
These are all $12.50 to $20.
You should see the before afters on this. This is incredible stuff. It's incredible. All right,
Prix de Provence. This is about upgrading the everyday, the things we use every day, but little luxuries. Coconut right here, dipped. It's so delicious. Everything's infused with shea butter, and you just feel better because the scents are intoxicating. These start at $5. And then finally, red light therapy. This is brand new. Their brand new one from LED Aesthetics with now even 50% more red light coverage with this one. We've got face, neck, hair, you name it. It's all 50% off. Treat yourself or a mama in your life.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, we've partnered with all these companies on these products, and you can get them at gmadeals.com. Because I can use a little hair help right here in the next two seconds. Reality check: popularity of boosting your protein intake with cottage cheese. Coming up next.
Welcome back to GMA, live from New York City. And we're back now with the resurging popularity of protein maxing with cottage cheese.
Yes.
GMA lifestyle contributor Lori Bergamatto is here to tell us why it's so popular, what you should know before you max out on it. Okay, we're listening, Lori.
Okay, I know you're not cottage cheese fans over there, but after this, maybe you will be, because as more of us look for creative ways to add extra protein to our diets, cottage cheese has emerged as the big cheese. People are blending it, baking it, and sneaking it into everything from dips to desserts, proving this retro staple has really earned its cultured status.
3-ingredient cottage cheese ice cream.
It's the power ingredient protein maxers are putting in everything.
I eat cottage cheese every day for the last 6 months, and here's why.
Trying out the viral cottage cheese flatbread.
It literally looks like bagels.
Cottage cheese taking over culture, one curd at a time.
Back when the cottage cheese trend took off, we tried the viral ice cream, and surprisingly, my kids loved it.
Wow.
Which flavor do you like? All of them.
But if you're packing in protein, nutritionists say there are a few things to consider.
For people who are salt sensitive, you're definitely going to want to look at the sodium content. I would definitely look at the percentage of saturated fat in there. Really, we want to be somewhere under 5% on your nutrition facts label.
And if you're looking to curd your enthusiasm on that daily dose of dairy,
I always recommend really rounding the pattern of eating out so that it's inclusive of a variety of foods. Definitely take a look at beans, nuts, and seeds. Go for the leaner cuts of animal proteins, poultry without the skin, lean cuts of meat in its whole and minimally processed form.
And there are plenty of ways to boost your protein intake, yes, even with dessert. So guys, I made this peanut butter chocolate chip ice cream, which my kids actually love and haven't quite figured out isn't real ice cream. I don't know what that says about them. And it's really simple. You just blend cottage cheese, peanut butter, honey, a dash of vanilla extract, swirl in some dark chocolate chips and freeze it. Of course, ice cream isn't always the best breakfast option, so I like to blend cottage cheese into a smoothie, which for me gives the ultimate curd appeal.
I was just going to say that. I didn't mind the taste. I'm not a cottage cheese fan.
Right.
I didn't mind the taste of this, but didn't love the texture. But the smoothie might work.
The smoothie is good because it just feels a little silkier. Yeah. And if the texture is what bothers you about the ice cream, I think that will be eliminated with the smoothie.
The taste is not that bad.
I mean, I
Not
feel
that good, but it's not that
so
bad.
rewarded because the two of them were like, we're not cottage cheese fans. So thank you. You made my whole day, Robin and George.
I see how you two skedaddled over there. Very nice.
I'm sorry we missed it.
We got right out of
We
it.
got plenty left for you. Plenty left.
We're going to move on now. Thank you and enjoy. We're with one of the new stars, and I do mean stars, of The Devil Wears Prada 2. Simone Ashley plays Miranda Priestley's first assistant to a T.
Yeah, and she lights up the screen as soon as she steps on it. You may also recognize her from, I don't know, a little show that broke the internet called Bridgerton. So welcome to GMA. We are so glad you're here.
So good to see you.
All right, so all the buzz on this movie, Devil Wears Prada 2, it's huge, it's international. How are you feeling about being in the middle of that storm?
So excited. It's just so amazing to be part of something that really brings people together. Like even when we were filming on the streets of Manhattan, there were thousands and thousands of people just watching because they were such huge fans of the first movie. So I'm really proud to be part of something that just brings people joy and brings people together.
Was it fascinating to see these iconic characters, these actors, like sort of step right back into these roles that you probably also knew before you were a Bridgerton star?
Yeah,
you had watched this movie, and now here they are to see Nigel come to life.
Yes.
And Miranda.
Yes, yeah, I grew up watching the first movie. It's one of my favorite movies, and like everyone, I could quote it line for line. And, you know, it was kind of surreal seeing them in person and working with them. And, yeah, but just for a second, and then obviously, then we were straight into it, and it just felt like a new home.
Let's do some work.
Totally. You had to get into character because your character is one of the tough ones, really. I think of the whole.
I think you kind of rival Emily Blunt.
There's no doubt. Let's go ahead and show you, in case you haven't seen it. Oh, here we are. Let's show you a clip.
Is Miranda? There you are. There you are. I am on time. So you're the kind of person who thinks on time is on time. Okay, got it. All right, come on. I'll show you to your office.
Amari, I need to pee. Please, I had a venti.
Oh. Was it worth it?
No.
Actually, I should probably talk to Miranda first. Oh. I'll take you to your office. Good luck, Charlie.
Thanks.
I mean, just nailed it. It's the energy that you wanted her to have. And the only kind of role model for that position you had was Emily Blunt. So how did you decide who you were going to be?
Well, David and Aline, they really encouraged me to not watch the first movie too much and to not copy Emily Blunt's amazing performance in the first movie and to kind of have my own take on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so me and Aline, we workshopped different things, brainstormed different ideas, and we just wanted Amari to be obviously the voice of the younger generation and just kind of this cool black cat kind of energy.
I just was going to say, you mentioned backstage to me
yeah.
that this black cat energy.
Yes.
Describe that.
Well, I would come in and we would talk for hours and hours and share ideas about it. And Aline turned around and she was like, go watch Richard Gere in American Gigolo. He does nothing and he's cool as a cat. And so I did that, and then it all made sense for me.
That is so
cool.
cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you have a line that you have in this movie that makes you chuckle? That you're like, I can't believe
the Chanel line. I actually wrote that line with Aline. Yeah, we changed it on the day, and I think the Chanel line was quite fun.
Will you share that with our audience, or you don't want to spoil it?
No, it's in one of the trailers.
Okay, good.
When we wanted to reference the Chanel boots from the first movie. And Andy's talking to Amari about how she gave away her Chanel.
Oh,
and
yes.
Amari's like, who gives away Chanel?
Who gives away?
Exactly. And that is a very fair question.
Exactly. Yeah.
I wonder if you will stay in touch with these iconic actors and people and now friends.
Yes.
Are you all?
Yeah.
Is there like a group text that I fantasize about?
Yeah.
Everyone was just so lovely, and I had such a laugh with Stanley and Annie, and Meryl is just the kindest, most warm person to work with, and Emily, I saw her a few days ago when we were traveling back. So yeah, I'm very grateful.
Looking back just a second at Bridgerton, because it was such a huge success, what was that like for you?
It was so exciting. Again, it was something that changed my life, and I'm just grateful for any work opportunity that comes into my life.
Oh, I don't think you have to worry about that anymore.
Well, yeah. Which is, I'm very lucky, and I think I'm really surrounded by the best friends and the best team and community around me, so it makes it all so much fun. Yeah.
Luck, I think, it's more like hard work and a lot of talent. You're really so great in this film. And I love, everybody's wondering, how can this film be as good as the first? Guys, it is. It is so
And you're such a good part of it, too.
Thank you. I think everyone's going to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think the fans are going to be really, really pleased.
We've been talking about it since we saw it.
Don't miss it.
Simone, thank you for coming. Please come back.
Thank you. Absolutely love to.
And The Devil Wears Prada 2, everyone, opens in theaters finally on Friday. Thank you again for being with us.
We're celebrating Disney's Week of Wishes, spotlighting some of the dreams that Disney helps come true for Make-A-Wish kids. Our partners at ESPN helped fulfill wishes for these two fans at the NFL Draft. Easton announced the first pick for his favorite team, the Detroit Lions, and Dylan got the whole crowd cheering when he announced the Seahawks pick. We will have another great Week of Wishes story tomorrow. We'd love to see it.
Now to spring cleaning. It's the same, but it's a little different. It's like decluttering your closet. Spring is the ideal time to refresh your financial life, if you will. And this segment is sponsored by certified financial planner professionals and CFP professional herself. Chelsea Ransom Cooper is here to help guide us through this. So let's start with, hi, first of all, it's so nice to see you.
Hello, and thank you so much for having me.
I love the blue. It's like one of my favorite colors. We're ready.
A little spring blue,
a little spring
yeah.
blue. Let's get going, because let's start with uncluttering our expenses, and especially these days.
Yes. So when we're thinking about our expenses, the biggest one that I see for individuals is subscriptions.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but the average American has $200 being spent in unused subscriptions.
It's crazy because it's so easy to get them, right?
Absolutely. So the easiest way to see if you have any money going to unused subscriptions is to take a look at your bank statement or use a budgeting tool, because sometimes these numbers, they can come from, subscriptions you signed up for in the beginning of the year because you decided to have that gym membership, or maybe even a streaming service you signed up for that one show and you forgot to cancel.
And you forgot that it's there. It happens to everybody. And it's also kind of like keep track of what credit card you put them on, right?
Yes.
So you can go by and look at them as well. Let's have some fun without overextending ourselves, because everybody works so hard now and you're working past regular work hours. So how can you chill but still have fun and not spend too much?
And Sam, summer is my favorite time of the year. And I don't know about you, but it's important to be outside and have a good time.
Agreed.
But you need to know what your numbers are for some summer fun. So the first thing I think about is understanding what that number is. So for some people, it could be $300.
Yeah.
So that could be for local events, going to the zoo, going to festivals, or maybe that number is $2,000, and that's for bigger trips. Either way, you want to figure out what that number is and then set up automatic contributions into a sinking fund. And really, that's a fancy way of saying a savings account for a very specific goal.
Thank you, because I was just going to go, Chelsea, what's a sinking fund?
Yeah.
No, but so it's like having an old-fashioned savings account, but you have it for fun.
Exactly, and it's the best way to make sure that you're not in credit card debt by the end of the summer.
All right. And how can we build some smarter spending habits? I think that sometimes we just kind of think on the fly and we don't plan, and that's kind of how we get ourselves in trouble.
And that's how you can get in trouble, especially if they're big expenses. So I encourage people to think about the 7-day rule.
Yeah.
So if they have any big expenses coming up, maybe that's some outdoor equipment that they want to purchase, or maybe that's a new summer wardrobe. What they need to do is let it marinate for about 7 days and see if they actually need it, but also see if they can afford it based on their savings goals. And if they can, well, then they can enjoy it guilt-free. But more often than not, that money's just going to sit in that shopping cart and it'll probably be forgotten.
I think you're right, because I think the urge to spend can pass if you give it a little time.
Yeah.
And it's almost if you just picture yourself with it for a while, you're like, oh, I didn't need that or want it half as much as I thought I did.
Right.
Right? So then all of a sudden you don't pull the trigger.
Yeah.
So slow down, don't pull it right away. And looking into the future, how do we stay on track? This is the scary topic for a lot of people. Investments.
Yes.
Thinking long term, because I don't know that most people want to try.
And it's important to plan around the long term, right? Because retirement is the one thing in life we can't take a loan out
Amen.
for. So when we're thinking about long term and investing, that's your 401k, that's an IRA, and that's a health savings account. And it's important to take a look and see how those investments are doing, but also make sure that you have set up some automatic contributions into those accounts. So if you can make that maximum contribution to those accounts, that is fantastic. But more often than not, if you can just start small and then increase 1% each year, that's just as good.
I need you because I'm at that time right now. You know, I'm 64, going to be 65, so retirement is primary here. And finances, who do we turn to? Because I'm lucky, I have you sitting right here.
Yeah.
But who do we turn to?
So we can turn to a CFP professional in your area. The best way to find one is to look online at Let's Make a Plan. And then, of course, it's important to remember that it always has to be a CFP.
CFP.
CFP, it's got to be a CFP.
Financial planner, right?
Certified financial planner, you got it.
Don't forget those letters. All right. You can point to your cell phone to that QR code to get more information from CFP professionals on our website. Coming up, and I loved chatting with you. Thank you, because this is so important.
Yes.
And people don't talk about it enough. Coming up, it's #1 New York Times bestselling author Anna Wong. She's here live to talk about her new book. Chelsea, great.
GMA's Spring Cleaning Your Finances is sponsored by Certified Financial Planner Professionals. Find your CFP professional today.
We are back with #1 New York Times bestselling author Anna Wong. Her books have sold more than 25 million copies around the world, translated into 34 languages. She has a new book in her Kings of Sin series called Kings of Gluttony. Welcome back to GMA. Good to see you.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
How did you know that the 7 Deadly Sins could sell so many books?
People love a good theme, you know, especially something that's more sinful.
So tell us about King of Gluttony.
Yeah, so this is a childhood rivals to lovers romance, and the main characters, Maya and Sebastian, have known each other all their lives because their families are best friends, but they have been competing over everything since they were kids, like grades, awards, accolades, everything. So they're pretty horrified when they have to work on this huge project, not as rivals, but as collaborators. And of course, this forced proximity gives rise to a lot of feelings, both old and new, and there's a tiny little mystery subplot as well to keep things interesting.
So you've delved into the different sins. What was it about gluttony? What did you grab onto?
Yeah, so I was a little nervous going into this book because gluttony is a hard sin to make appealing, but I was really able to lean into using food as their love language to showcase their differences in personalities, but also the development of their relationship. And it ended up being really fun to write, especially since I'm a foodie myself.
And that's what you want readers to experience, that world?
Yes, definitely. I think they will really love sort of this food-based world, but also the hero, Sebastian, is such a yearning hero. I think they'll really enjoy. And I'm especially excited for them to get to the part of the book where they'll figure out why there's an envelope on the cover of the book and how that ties into the story as well.
Tell me a little bit about your process. Okay, you know you're going to be doing gluttony. What's the next step?
Yeah, so I try to come up with the character arcs first. I figure out like what are their emotional journeys over the book, and then once I have their characters figured out, then I'll slot that into the plot, and I kind of just outline it in a way, but when I'm in the writing process, I write as it comes to me, so it's not super structured.
But do you have little biography of the characters first and then set them out?
I do. I have the basic ones, like, okay, obviously this is their background, this is how they grow up. I have the deeper stuff, like this is their emotional wounds, what are their goals in this book, and then I go from there.
So Twisted Love and Gods of the Game series, both getting TV adaptations. Anything you can share about that?
I can share. They're both in active development. So Twisted is a little further along at this point, but I'm really excited. We're in the script making process, and then the Gods of the Game just got announced, but we're working hard behind the scenes on that as well.
And are you already working on a new book?
I am. I am working on The Keeper, which is the last book in my Gods of the Game series. That's my sports romance series that comes out in October. It's a single dad nanny romance, and I'm very excited.
So what's your ideal writing setting? Give us a scene of what's happening in your house.
It is, so I am at my desk, and I have to have a hot beverage, always. I light my candle, I put on, so I use like Brain FM, which are binaural beats. It's just kind of music without lyrics that really help me concentrate.
Wow.
And then I put it on, and I just write until I'm tapped out for the day.
Go with the flow.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
King of Gluttony is available now.
What do you guys think Michael's doing right now in Barcelona?
It's not quite dinner time there yet.
Pasta.
Cheers to you, Michael Strahan.